Everybody and welcome to the Divine Rogue. Today I'm going to be making an NPC for you guys. This NPC is named Vizerin Devere, and he is a Drow Archmage who used to be a member of Menzoberranzan and the matriarchy of the Drow inside of it. So we're just going to go ahead and go the standard route for making this character. Go ahead and put his name in here. And gonna keep all the homebrew stuff, keep some core rules, the expanded rules. We're basically keeping everything. Enable the dice rolling because I don't have dice on me as I am in a car. Allow or restrict optional features. We might as well allow it. It is an XP based campaign, although he is going to be level 20 automatically. Hit point, we're going to go fixed just for the purposes of not rolling dice and keeping this as quick and simple as possible for you guys. We are going to use encumbrance, ignoring coin weight, and the modifiers are on the top. The next, we are going to be picking his class, and I might as well bump him up to level 20 as soon as we pick the wizard here. Bump him all the way up to level 20. His maximum hit points on a fixed is 82. That will also change depending on what his constitution is. Wizard skill proficiency, insight, and arcana. We get spellcasting. We can cast ritual spells as a wizard, just simple wizard stuff. Arcane recovery. On a short rest, you gain spell slots. Scholar. While studying magic, you also specialize in another field of study. We can choose a skill expertise. Let's go expertise and arcana. Now we're getting into the super fun stuff, the wizard subclass. Being a part of Loth's matriarchy, I don't necessarily want to do like the diviner. I don't want to do necromancy either. How about, what's the plague doctor? No, definitely not the plague doctor. We'll make him an evoker. We like the evokers. Basically making him a Gandalf, you shall not pass type thing, 2 wizard spells from the evocation. Acid Splash and Chromatic Orb. Chromatic Orb is probably one of the best first level spells that a wizard can have. Like 1d12 damage of any damage type, essentially. Potent cantrip, damage cantrips. Targets take half damage but suffer no additional effect. Wild. Now the ability score improvement. Our first feat, we're probably going to be taking Keen Mind here. Keen Mind increases intelligence by 1, and you gain lore knowledge, you gain extra skills, essentially. We'll do a proficiency on this one. And we can take the study action as a bonus action. We will go investigation. Actually, I lied. We're going to go history because he actually knows quite a bit of what's going on in the Underdark. Memorizing spells. You can study your spellbook and replace one of the Level 1 spells for another one. Sculpt spells. You can create pockets of relative safety within the effects of your evocations. You can choose a number of them equal to 1 plus the spell's level. Chosen creatures automatically succeed. That's insane. And that's only at level 6. Another ability score improvement. For this feat, I think we might have to go Spell Sniper. Spell Sniper on mages of any sort is just amazing. There's Sharpshooter. There's Spell Sniper. Yeah, Spell Sniper. Increase your int, whiz, or charisma score by 1. Your attack rolls for spells ignore half and 3/4 cover. And you can cast within 5 feet of a person without disadvantage. And you can cast a spell that has a range of 10 feet and requires you to make an attack roll. But instead, you can make it 60 feet. And intelligence, because he's a wizard. Empowered evocation. Add your intelligence modifier to the roll. Ability score improvement. The third ability score improvement. Methinks that we will go not Warcaster. Not Skilled. Skilled is a really good feat, especially if you're playing as like a human, but I feel it's kind of derivative. You know what? We're just going to be super toxic and give him the lucky feat. Maybe not super toxic, but we have a number of luck points. And we can re-roll using a luck point, essentially. Or give somebody else disadvantage. Overchannel. Increase the power of your spells. You can deal maximum damage on a level 1 through level 5 spell. But every time you do this, if you do it more than once, you take 2d12 necrotic damage. So you're able to do a lot of damage, but at a cost. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and make this one ability score improvement. I'm going to up intelligence by 1, and we'll go ahead and up constitution by 1 as well. Oh. Okay. So yeah, we can, we'll go ahead and choose those spells later. But essentially at 18th level, you can cast a level 1 and a level 2 spell without using a spell slot. Once per long rest. Epic boon. Of course we're going to pick an epic boon feat. We will give him Boon of the Archlich, Boon of the Earthly Tether. We'll give him Boon of the Elder Fae. What does that do? Increases 1 ability. You are no longer affected by the weakened Constitution transformation flaw. What is that? Choose any Fae transformation boon that you don't already have, but meet the prerequisites for you. Gain that boon. Okay. So that is from Grim Hollow's book. So that must have something to do with their lore. Let's go. What about Boon of the Night Spirit? While within dim light or darkness, you can give yourself invisible condition. While within dim light or darkness, you have resistance to all damage except psychic and radiant. I like that. And then we will increase our intelligence again by 1. Choose 2 level 3 spells at level 20. You always have these spells prepared. You can cast each of them once without expending a spell slot. And we will go ahead and choose those spells later as well, because I want to leave just a little bit unknown for the players as they might watch this. So, moving on, we will now go to the background. He was once an acolyte of Loth, but then, once stuff has been going down in the Underdark, he turned his tail on them, making his own place in the Underdark his home of the Tower of Araj. So how about the Haunted one would be decent. Ruined would be a really good one too. Let's give him the Ruined background. Everything was going so well. He was an archmage, and then shit started happening in Menzoberranzan that made him question things and made him turn against what he once thought. And we'll give him just a basic dice set. Languages. Where's Undercommon? There's Undercommon. He'll know Undercommon. He'll obviously know Sylvan. And we'll give him the Alert feat. Give him a +5 to bonus to initiative. Can't be surprised. And other creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls. His alignment is going to be... We'll go chaotic neutral. He still sees a lot of chaos everywhere. He doesn't have a faith anymore as he's lost it. He has a pretty squalid lifestyle now as he is in his own tower away from everybody. Physical characteristics. Hair is a stark white. About shoulder length. Skin is a dark gray, drac gray, dark gray. Do you spell gray G-R-A-Y or G-R-E-Y? Let me know in the comments. Eyes are a piercing yellow. /red. As Loth no longer really has control over him anymore. Height, we'll call him a good 6'5". You know, elves are pretty tall, pretty slender. Weight, probably a good 195. Age, we'll call him 84. He's around middle age. And he is a male. Personal characteristics, we don't really have to get into those. Now on to the species. Where are the drow? There's Deep Gnome, Dwergar. I feel like I'm going backwards. Aasimar, Dragonborn, Dwarf. There's an elf, but there's not specifically a drow. Maybe if I go into the elf, can I make them a drow in here? No. So let's just see if they have a drow in here. If not, then we'll just pick elf, because drow are technically elves. There's the 2014 core rules. There are no drow here either, though. And the Grim Hollow, there's a whole bunch of different boys in here that you could pick. So, I will just go ahead and pick the elf here. Creature type, he is humanoid, medium, speed about 30 feet, dark vision. We got elven lineage here. Okay, so yep, there we go. Here's where we pick if we're a drow, a high elf, or a wood elf. And we will choose drow lineage. And with that, we get the ability to cast Fairy Fire. At level 1, our dark vision increases to 120 feet, and we know the Dancing Lights cantrip, and we can also cast Darkness. Just from being an elf, or a drow. Keen Senses. We will have proficiency in perception. Elves technically never need to sleep. They only need to go in a 4-hour trance-like state. And 2 more languages. We will know Elvish and let's say they know Halfling. That they've had some run-ins with the Zentarim. So yeah, that is our species all done. Now on to the next part, maybe. Our ability score. On the generation method, I'm just going to go ahead and use manual rolled, mainly because I like keeping things to chance here. So, for our rolls. Ooh, a 9. Not a good start. 14, much better. 13. Another 9. Wow. 14. And last one. 14. Wow. That is honestly not terrible. We're going to go ahead and put a 9 in Dex. A 9 in Strength. You know what? Actually, I lie. We're going to go ahead and put that 9 in Wisdom. So we can put Dex at 13, and then in Con and Charisma are all 14. I like that a lot for our spellcaster. And our ability score increases. We cannot forget about those. We have an option of increasing 2 scores by +2 and +1, or all 3 of our scores. So we're going to go ahead and choose 1 to increase by 1. We'll go ahead and make that Dex. And then, of course, the one we increase by 2 is our intelligence score. Because why would we not? Score calculations here. Get to see what all we got there. And now we get to choose our equipment, which I am also not going to give him all of the equipment that I will want to give him at the moment, just to leave a little bit of a surprise for our characters. Just a little bit of surprise. But with that, me explaining everything and all of that, we have created the Archmage Vizorin Devere. And here's all of his stats. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you out, maybe even if you guys were trying to think of making a character or something. And as always, thank you for watching, and keep on rolling.